Hey everyone, so helmet tech, is it hype or is it actually useful? I'm going to talk about the Forcite MK1S or the MK1S, whatever they want to call it. So I ran into these guys at the AIM Expo a couple of years ago. I had never seen them before, but not surprised. There is tech in helmets nowadays, not all of them, but on top of the traditional like shell and different, shield technologies, ventilation, blah, blah, blah. But now they're starting to get where they're coming with speakers in them. Some of them have the, communication. This one actually has Harmon Kardon speaker system, and it has a 1080p camera built in. So, which is pretty cool. And I went ahead and listened to the whole pitch and everything at the show, and I thought, that's pretty cool. Let me, I'll take a further look. Now, my first job in the industry, just to give you a little background, in the motorcycle industry, I used to work for AGV America. This is back in 1996. That's when I started. Worked for them off and on for a few years. I also worked for another Italian helmet company, or at least the importer in the US, called FM Helmets. So I've worked for two Italian helmet companies. A lot of background in helmets. I've only ever worn top end stuff because I have learned all the different technologies. I put it to use. I'm a rider, a road racer at the time, still do track days today. And having said all that, just like all of the experience and all of the time and all of the actual use, I'm pretty particular when it comes to helmets. So I don't just wear anything. I don't wear cheap helmets. I only wear nice stuff. I know that the different technologies make a difference as far as on the safety side. I've never been a looks first when it comes to safety gear. It's always been safety first. Back then, in that time period, it's like you could hardly sell a helmet in a dealership unless it was like the top Snell rated. Now, most people don't even know what Snell is. So anyway, without going fully down that road, I just wanted to get into how the Forcite caught my eye. And I gave you that background so that you can appreciate that I actually do have a lot of experience in the helmet industry. I mean, I've been to the factories overseas. I've been to the AGV factory. I did all the racer support back in the late 90s and early 2000s for AGV, working with people like Matt Mladen, Steve Crevier, Bostrom Brothers, so on and so forth. Anyway, so back to the Forcite. I saw it, I thought it was pretty cool, and I'll go ahead and edit in the whole, I had them give me the whole pitch at the show, so I'll edit that in so you guys can see that.
So, we are from Australia, Sydney, Australia in fact, and the MK1S is our core product. It's actually the only smart motorcycle helmet in the world that's got ECE and DOT certification that's in mass production and readily available. So we've been in market in Australia since 2019. We've got around 3,000 customers back home, so a really good little community. And the MK1S is actually our second generation helmet. So we launched the MK1 back in 2019. We managed to get around 1,500 out the door before COVID hit. Obviously everyone in the power sports industry is aware of what happened after COVID. It just took us a really long time to get more parts back in the door to build more helmets. So for 18 months, we were working with our sort of early adopter group of 1,500 customers, collecting loads of feedback from them, really improving our software and mobile system backend that really powers the smart experience. But we also found a load of opportunities to make a bunch of upgrades to the helmet itself. So the MK1S, what we've got is a full carbon fiber shell that's very lightweight. And before I talk about the smart stuff, the most important thing that we like to get across is that it's a good helmet. I think a lot of other companies that have developed, smart helmets or integrated products or concepts, the thing they forget is to make the helmet good.
Yeah, they'll have integrated features that are cool, but the helmet, it's like you're stuck with what they provide.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's something like, I don't know much about your helmets yet, but from what I read, I like that the helmet itself is a good product without any of the extra features. So.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I like to talk about first. So full carbon fiber shell, very premium finish, very well ventilated, 2 vents in the forehead area, 2 at the top that exhaust out the back, 2 chin vents. We use Pinlock Max Vision 120, the highest grade that Pinlock offer for anti-fog. We've overhauled the interior liner for the Mark 1S, so 3D formed foam, really plush, really contoured, nice kind of suede-like material. A one-piece neck roll design creates a nice tight seal around the neck, helps keep out a lot of that wind and road noise, so it's lightweight.
And that feature, so you can remove the
emergency pull tags. Yeah, we have a chin curtain as well. It's just not fitted right now. But yeah, it's a comfy helmet. It does a great job in an accident. It holds up. Smart stuff aside. In terms of smart features, there are kind of 3 main ones that stand out. So we've got the integrated camera up the front. So that records in 1080p at 60 frames per second. Really good low light capability, so good late at night on poorly lit roads. Most of our customers are interested in sort of having a camera for insurance and accountability and protection. But if you look right there, we got some track footage from our Australian Superbike 600 rider. So because this camera is integrated and certified from factory, there's absolutely no problem taking it out on your local racetrack. These guys compete at the highest level of Australian racing, no problem. We've also got, well actually, let me show you this, SD card in there. So it takes one all the way up to 1 terabyte, USB-C charging, and that is totally weather tight, so you can ride all day in the rain. You won't hurt the electronics. We've also got integrated audio by Harmon Kardon, so super premium audio. The coolest thing about a company like us is, you know, if you buy a comm set and then go and retrofit it to another helmet, you're kind of trying to put it somewhere where it wasn't originally designed to go. Because we design everything ourselves, manufacture the hardware, do the audio solution, custom tune it, it's an end-to-end solution, so we can really, really dial it in. You get a set of spacers, so you can really find the right position. So it's like a set of headphones, right? If you kind of took them out here, you lose all your clarity and your bass and your mid-range. You can really find a custom fit with the Mark 1S, and you know, we're pretty confident in saying it's some of the best in-helmet audio on the market.
Awesome.
And then last, we've got our peripheral LED display. Now, I know US-based customers have been exposed to kind of heads-up displays in the past. We do things very differently, so it's not a screen with written images or projected information. It's a solid strip of diffused LED light. I might actually run the demo here.
Okay.
To show you in the helmet how it works.
And that's literally just an app on your phone?
Yeah, so you can run the demo through the phone, and then it interacts with the helmet. So you can see here on the map all those alerts, and then if you look inside the helmet, you've got to put the...
Okay.
So it tells you when to turn left, when to turn right. It'll let you know of any hazards that are coming up as well. I might take that out because it's probably the speakers are blasting on it. But yeah, our app pulls in information from Waze, Google Maps, live traffic.
I wondered how it got that. So okay,
so it'll let you know of police coming up on your route, speed cameras, even hazards. So where we're from in Sydney, we've had a lot of rain in the last 6 months. There's potholes everywhere. We can actually grab that information, pull it into our app, and then when you're riding, it'll say, warning, pothole reported in 500 meters, and you're just aware of it, and you can be prepared to take evasive action if you need.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the pitch. So.
Awesome.
I decided I'm going to go ahead and get one for myself so I can experience it. And I've literally been using this helmet for the last 2 years. I ride with it on the street, and I ride with it on the track. I thought, how cool is that it has the camera built in, because I want to collect footage on track. And it's also handy, like on the road. I mean, I do a lot of the test rides here at our shop. It has been handy to be like, oh, well, I want to show the customer what the bike is doing, and I have that camera built into the helmet, so that's a very handy feature. My interest initially, of course, was like, well, when I ride on the track, how cool would it be to have the camera built into the helmet? Because a lot of organizations now, they won't allow you to have a helmet camera. They won't allow you to have like something attached to the side or to the chin. Now even some of the small, like the Insta360, the Go 3S and stuff like that, they're tiny enough that they'll fit in here. but that can also be a projectile in a crash, so bouncing around inside your face shield. So having helmets with cameras attached to them isn't the safest. So I thought, pretty cool. It's got a camera built into the chin bar. Now, also what I found out in that whole spiel and everything, not only does it have the camera, but it is also a Bluetooth helmet that communicates with your phone. They have their own app. It talks to the helmet. It has a peripheral LED display in the chin bar. It has a navigation setup in the app. It will give you alerts like turn left, and it'll like kind of give you a turn signal. It'll let you know that there's, you know, police reported ahead, so on and so forth. And you can even receive phone calls through your phone on the device, you know. And it's all pretty simple. They have this handlebar mounted Bluetooth remote that you can literally. It's the kind of the bridge between your phone and your helmet.
Yeah, so this is what we call the Bluetooth controller. So it comes included with every helmet. You get a bar mount as well. And yeah, you rig it up to the front of your bike, and it just allows you to interact with the helmet smart features on the move with sort of minimal distraction. So you can pause, play, skip all your music. You've got volume adjustment on the side. You can stop and start your helmet's camera. If you hold down the camera button for 10 seconds, it'll actually wipe all the footage off your SD card, just in case you need to get rid of it all very quickly. You can repeat your last GPS notification in case you missed it, or you can accept and deny incoming phone calls from there as well. So,
to be fair, I don't use it for that. I mainly got it because I wanted to have a top-end helmet that's ECE rated for the track. It's carbon fiber. I wanted to have those features combined with the camera, so I mainly use it for track days. And the footage has been surprisingly good, and I'll go ahead and show some of that. So what it comes with, and I'll go ahead and just give you a quick rundown, in addition to, like, obviously you got the helmet, comes with a manual. It has its own, the Bluetooth device. Now this cable is pretty cool. It actually attaches in the chin bar here, and then this end to your phone. And if you have an older iPhone that has a lightning connector, they give you this adapter where you can put that on here. And then you have to get an Apple Lightning adapter, but nowadays they're all USB-C, so this plugs perfectly right into my phone. And then if you need to power the helmet, this USB will plug in to charge the helmet. Now, this here is actually their power adapter to plug into the helmet to charge the battery in the helmet. Now it comes with a clear shield. I like using a smoke shield, so I have switched it over to a smoke shield. If you notice, I actually have tear-offs on here. They actually don't have a option for tear-offs. They don't sell tear-offs, but due to my time at AGV, I have especially in the racer support side of AGV, I have a lot of old school AGV tear-offs and old shields with posts. And I noticed that on these shields, if you notice, it's a flat shield. It doesn't have that 3D curve. So since it's a flat shield, I was like, oh, that'll probably accommodate tear-offs. So I simply chose the tear-off option that I have the most of. I probably have 100 of these tear-offs. So I just got some AGV posts, laid a tear-off on there, drilled the holes where they needed to be, and then now I have tear-off posts and tear-offs. Now, I do that not because I actually tear it off while I'm on the track. I do that because I have, over the years, it's like, shields are expensive. It's not, they used to be 25 bucks a long time ago. Now it's like a 10-inch shield's 80 bucks. You know, an iridium shield, depending on the brand, they're over $100 for a mirrored lens. Even a clear shield is 70 bucks. So I'm not trying to get rid of the bugs in a race. I don't care. I'm just trying to protect my actual shield. So I'll use tear-offs, and then while I'm on the track, if a bug hits me or something, I don't just tear it off. I wait till I come in, I tear it off and put a new one on. But that way it makes the actual shield last a lot longer because you're not getting rock chips so much, especially when it comes to the mirror lens. So it doesn't come with a mirror lens, but I have one, and these are great. Now I have used this one, but when I'm not using my spare shields, I put the static cling back on to protect it because they scratch really easily. So I just put that back on and I put it in the bag. The helmet itself comes with a clear lens, and they all come pin lock ready. In the box, not only does it come with these cables, the remote, the helmet, and the clear lens, but it also comes with, it does come with the actual pin lock for the shield. So pretty awesome. I have it on my smoke shield because that's what I use the most. And if you look on the inside there, you can see the fog resistant pin lock in there. So, and they work fantastic. And now we're in Ohio in December when I'm doing a test ride. You can't hardly ride without a pin lock because it just fogs up so quickly. It does have your typical ventilation. It's got the ventilation at the top. It's a real simple switch, and it's visually easy to tell. Like right now it's closed, then it's open. Now it has these vents up here as well. So airflow goes into here, and then it just has a simple mechanism here. Now, essentially, when you push back, it's opening a hole inside. You push forward, it's closing it. So it's a real simple mechanism. And now I will say that on the chin bar where it does have the ventilation, it's not as simple as some helmets because this whole chin bar is where the technology is for the camera. So essentially they've made it to where if you want to open and close those vents, inside you're basically, there is a, in the inside, there's two like sliders inside the chin. I don't know if you can see them in there, but there's two sliders in there to open and close those vents. Now, while I got the helmet resting like this, just to give you an idea, underneath here is where it has the port. So you can power it and put your SD card. It's just like a rubber tab that seals that shut. But you just open that up, and now if you want to charge the helmet, you're using the charging adapter. It literally just plugs right in there. Super simple and easy to get to. Now, I will say that the SD card, even though the SD card, it's right there, it's right next to it, I do find personally that it's difficult to get it out. It's easy to put it in, but where it is, because of the way the helmet is, it's hard to get to that. So I'll push on it and it pops out, but even though it's popped out, it's really hard to get, like with your fingernail. If you've used SD card, it has a little lip on one side. Unfortunately, it's not on the side that you have easy access to. It's on the other side, like facing the opening of the helmet. So like it's real hard to get it and pull it out. You can, but it's not super easy to pull it out. So what I do, typically, so now it's in, push it to pop it out, and then I literally just use a needle nose pliers just to simply grab it and pull it out and not hurt anything. I'm more concerned that by trying to pry it out, I'm gonna end up breaking the SD card. So I don't know how valid that is of a concern, but it's just easy to use a pair of needle nose to just, after you push it, just pull it out. Now, also, in the app, you have the option of viewing your footage right on your phone. And it works Apple and Android, and I'll show a demo for that too. But if you don't want to pull out the SD card and plug it into your computer and access the footage like that, you literally could just use the other cable, the media cable that it comes with, and it's the one that has this like T connector in the middle. That simply plugs in. We're at the normal, like it's the USB-C charging port. Now this end is for charging the helmet if it needs to be charged, but if not, It doesn't need to be plugged in. The USB side doesn't, that USB A or B or whatever it is, it doesn't need to be plugged in. The other end, the USB-C, will plug into your phone. Now, like I said, on the older iPhone with the lightning connector, you would use this adapter that it comes with so that you can get the USB to lightning adapter from Apple. But this will allow you to use that device. So if you have an older device with lightning cord, a lightning cable, you need to use this. But with the current stuff, it's all USB-C, so you just use that. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the app. It just has a simple app. Now, once the app's open, this is the home screen. Now you would push right here to get to the actual, and it basically, it's telling you the same instructions. Now, I don't even have the helmet on, so, well, on top of that, it's a blank SD card. So let's mess with that. Let's use the helmet first, and then I'll show how that works. All right, once again, on the inside of the helmet, so here you have that, like I said, you got that rubber tab you can pull open to get to the charging port and to the SD card. Now, in order to turn the helmet on, it's real simple. Just, it has this chin wind deflector. Right underneath there, there's a button. You just push it once and you can see it flashes green. And if you could hear it, it says your device is connected. So it's turned on, it's connected. I like to use the app when I'm gonna start to record because I can easily see it in the app. So what you'll do, obviously in menu, it shows you the actual helmet, it shows you the percentages, and it's got the remote there. If you click on ride, it shows the map, it shows where you are. I'll click on helmet up here. Now, if you notice, it says it's got the device controls. The helmet is at 70% battery, the SD card 100% remaining. The remote is 100% battery, and then start recording. So I'm gonna point the helmet right over there, start recording, and it tells you. Recording started, in a nice Australian accent. It is an Australian company, so that's great. So you can control it and you can see what's going on with the app. Now, I'll go ahead and pan with the camera. It is 1080p, so you can kind of look and see. And then all right, now from there, we want to go ahead and actually look at that footage. Let's go ahead and let's plug right in. Now, normally, I don't prefer to use the app for viewing and editing footage, but you can. So let's go ahead and just plug that T connector, that USB-C T, into the chin bar of the helmet. Helmet's not on. Actually, the helmet's on. Okay, so that's plugged in. Your device is connected, okay? And then we'll go to home, and then on the home screen, I'll click on this. Tells you how to hook it up. I don't need to power the helmet, but if I did, I have the USB connector to power the helmet. Cable is connected, open storage. Now, you would think you could just like click on that and it would work, but it doesn't work. So don't go that way. You have to open storage, and then down here, click on browse, and then basically don't choose either folder, just click open. Now it shows all the different clips that are on your SD card. Now, the one that we just recorded is right here, and if you'll notice, it's upside down because the helmet itself is upside down on my little, it's actually my old AGV helmet donut for doing tear-offs and cleaning helmets. Pick it up, and you can see how we pan across like I just showed you, and then put it back down on the donut and turn it off. If you wanted to edit that, you kind of just, you can scroll this however you want, but it's slow to see. So if I wanted to get rid of me flipping the helmet over, I'll just do that. Now I'll trim it, and it starts the trim at that spot. Play, and it's just going to play that window. Confirm, and it trims off the beginning and the end of that clip. Now if I wanted, I could go ahead and add it to my photos. I'll click on allow, and then if I want, I can send that to somebody, or I can upload that to a shared album. Anyway, so you can use the media, media manager through the cable, do everything on your phone. It's very limited on what you can do, but you can. Like if you're on a ride and you want to send someone a quick clip of what you saw and you actually have the cable, you can do that. What I prefer to do is actually pull out the SD card and then go ahead and put it in my adapter, put it into the laptop, and then I can edit it in the software I choose. Okay, so the Forcite MK1S, I've been using it for 2 years. Would I recommend? Yes. It's actually a really cool helmet. It's full carbon fiber, which is great. To me, I'm only going to wear a composite shell helmet. If you're buying a helmet that has any kind of fancy name like thermoplastic resin, that's a fancy name for plastic. I'm just not wearing one. I'm only going to wear a full composite shell. This is a full carbon fiber shell, the outer shell. It has the EPS liner on the inside, which is what absorbs the majority of the impact, but that outer carbon fiber shell on an impact, it's going to not only spread it, but as it impacts in, it's going to crack and crinkle, and kind of like the way a windshield would on a car, where it spreads that impact across a large area and it absorbs energy before passing it through to the next layer of the EPS liner that absorbs the actual impact and protects you. So on a composite shell, it's like you have 2 layers of energy absorption. If you have a plastic shell, that outer shell of that whatever fancy name for plastic is literally just spreading the impact over a larger area and then transferring it to the EPS liner that has to absorb everything. It satisfies that for me. It's not as light as some helmets because it does have that extra tech. There's always going to be some kind of compromise, like having a good 1080p HD camera built into the chin bar, and to have the speakers, and to have the USB connectivity, and to have the actual Bluetooth connectivity, have all the technology in there. It's going to weigh a little bit more. It's not heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but like a modern race helmet without any technology in it other than the helmet itself is going to be lighter. But it doesn't bother me at all. It's not, I wouldn't consider it heavy. Having the full carbon fiber shell helps. The lightweight of that tends to offset the technology that's built in. Full carbon fiber shell, the technology in it actually works really good. I highly recommend it. I've enjoyed wearing it. The wind noise is actually pretty minimal. It's a very aerodynamic shape. Cuts through the wind at speed on the track. It doesn't stand out to me as a noisy helmet by any stretch of the imagination. The ventilation, it does work. You can tell when the vents are not opened correctly. And in the back, it has this nice spoiler, a little bit of a spoiler, but this diffuser in the back actually creates like a negative pressure in the back, so that as wind airflow goes over the back of the helmet, it sucks the heat and moisture out of the helmet back here. So it satisfies that for me. The fit on it, it fits great. This one is a medium. Now, when I first got it, it was very tight for a medium. So I would say, keep in mind, if you wear a medium in most helmets, you probably will wear a medium in this as well, because now after it broke in, it took a couple of good weekends of track riding to have it fully break in. But once it was fully broke in, like, now it fits me perfect. Like, I love the fit on it. And that's really one of the most important things on the safety aspect of a helmet. It has to fit snug. Can't be uncomfortable, but it has to fit on there snug, so that once it breaks in, it's still snug. So initially it has to be tight, and then when it breaks in, it has to still be snug so that it's not moving around on you. You want to make sure that in a crash, it stays put. Or let's say you're on the road and you want to change lanes, you look. If your helmet's loose and you look, your helmet's going to turn on your head. You don't want that. You want it to stay nice and snug in place. Would I recommend? Yes, absolutely would recommend. Like I said, it comes with a clear shield. They do have options for smoke and mirror. It comes with the tech. It comes, you need to provide your own SD card, but other than that, it comes with everything you need in the box. It is shocking right now. This helmet used to be $1,100. It's on sale right now for $499. So for all the tech that this comes with the full carbon fiber, with the Harmon Kardon speakers, with the 1080p high definition camera built into the chin that no organization should stop you from using. It's a great option for track days, so that you can actually review your footage, or you can follow someone and show someone, like if you're a coach, you can show someone their lines or what they're doing, their body position. Surprisingly, I gotta be honest, I didn't expect to really embrace this helmet. I always had showies and a rise, and then eventually I got an AGV, and then I worked for AGV, and then since then I've only had those helmets as well as some other high-end helmets. I've had KYT full carbon fiber helmet, great helmet. I've also used the X-Lite, fantastic helmet. Anyway, I've only ever worn top-end helmets. I did not expect to really embrace this, because I figured, is it hype? Is it a gimmick? But I've actually come to enjoy the helmet. It actually does everything I need it to do, plus it has the camera built in. The other stuff for the road, great. I'm sure that's someone that's gonna do like a moto vlog or whatever. It's super nice to have. We may start using it for some of that kind of stuff as well, but overall, yes, I would recommend the helmet. Anyway, there'll be a link below. We have it on our website. We have the shields, we have the pin locks. No better time. It's $499 right now. It used to be $1,100, so